Thank you, and thank you for joining us. I want to thank those that were with us this morning, those who joined virtually for being part of this momentous event. It is an exciting moment for us, those of us who have been with this organization for as long as we've been in this organization. I joined in 2001 when Aon has just been bought by, Aon. So it has been bought, Associated Insurance Broker has just been bought by Aon Holdings. So I know the Aon culture. We're moving to a different area where now we are going to try and come back to African culture and try and do things locally as much as possible. For those who were at the meeting this morning, you might have heard that even though we're being acquired by an outside entity, there will still be there will be a lot, in fact, of agility and freedom to do and approach certain markets from within the country. There won't be too much of a dependence on our sister companies or the region. We have been given this ability to work as we feel we should work in this environment that we are in. Today, we are just going to take you through the nuts and bolts of the brand and how we got here. We have with us Mr. Tebe Ikalafem from Brand Leadership, who will be taking you through the whole process. He's joined also by Ms. Anna-May Stashiski, who is also Chief Marketing Director for Minet. They will be taking you through, and at the end, there will be a question and answer session for those that wish to just get clarity on certain things of where we're going and the like. And at the end of the program, we'll have Mr. Leo Moret close for us. Please do remember that I asked that we only have the mics and the cameras on for those two events, the pledge and when we do the Aon values. I'll hand over to you, Mr. Ikalafeng or Anna-May.
Thank you, Rad. Thank you so much, Barnabas. I'll ask Anna-May to take over from here. Anna-May is going to do the nuts and bolts presentation, really just how the brand was built and how we apply and use the brand. Then I will take us through the values, the importance of the values. I'll take us through the pledge, and then we will close. So, but what a momentous day. Anna-May, it's your job now.
Yeah, so thank you, Barnabas, and thank you, Tebe, for the introduction. So during this session, I'll take you through the workings behind the Minet brand and the new identity that you'll be working with. Just a second. I managed to click through. Yes, okay, here we go. And also how all of this, how the entire new brand identity can be used in your day-to-day communications with your colleagues, with your clients, and with your stakeholders externally as well. So first of all, the marketplace that we are working in is really overcrowded, and to really make a stand, to stand out of the crowd, you need to be a great brand and have a really good story to tell. At Minet, we start with a spark, which is our vision, which is expressed in 3 very simple words: securing Africa's future. And although this vision is not really client-facing, I mean, we don't communicate on it. Oh, no. Can you please go on mute? Yeah. So although this vision is not client, although the vision is not client-facing, it's really an internal touchstone that really tells us how we should act, what we would say and do. And it also influences our mission, which is really our brand promise. Through our mission, which is expressed in a lot more words than the vision, we really tell people what we stand for, what we try to do, and for whom we try to do this. So our mission is to be Africa's trusted risk advisor by delivering innovative and relevant risk advisory and human capital solutions, growing sustainable partnerships, and making a meaningful contribution to the communities that we serve. Now, it's really nice to have a vision and a mission for a company, but what is equally important, if not more, is the brand blueprint, and that's really how we are going to tell our story. The brand blueprint for Minet is based on 4 C's, being customer experience. We put the customer at the center of everything that we do. Our capabilities being the knowledge and the expertise of our employees and staff, but also the technology and the research and data and analytics that we have access to, not only through Aon, but also through ourselves. Credibility, we have a proven track record in the region. We have quite a bit of heritage across the region. And of course, we've got global access and local influences as well. And culture is simply expressed by one word, which we call heart, which are the 5 values that our company is based on, and which will be explained to you later on during this session by 10 of your colleagues. And this brand blueprint is really helping us to tell our story, to voice our vision and mission, which in turn helps us build our reputation. And our brand is simply our reputation. And it's not only based on the opinion that people put in their minds because of the products and the services that they see, but we learned from research that reputation can be influenced quite easily. First of all, of course, through the products and services that we have to offer. So these are the risk, the reinsurance, and the people solutions that we offer. Also our strong ties with Aon and being a customer-centered organization. But it's also through our drive for innovation. We continuously come up with new products and new processes to be even more agile in the risk industry. A workplace is also can also positively influence our reputation. A tidy workplace and a comfortable workplace not only reflects well on our employees because they become more effective and efficient, but it also reflects well on the clients whenever they come and visit our offices. Governance, so through a clear and transparent corporate culture, we can influence our reputation in a positive way as well. Minet is an ethical organization, and we respect local rules and regulations, and we also go by international best practices. Citizenship, this is giving back to the communities that we serve. Participating in local sponsorships, again giving back to the communities in which we live and which we serve, that positively influences our reputation as well. Leadership, having strong, knowledgeable and transparent leaders in the organization has a positive influence on the reputation of a brand as well. And at last, of course, performance, being a good performer, having good results and bringing value to the investors, that also impacts our reputation in a positive way. So the key is to really communicate on all these 7 factors in a positive way, as much as possible, of course. And it's not only it's not only what we say, but it's also how we say it. As I mentioned before, we are a customer-centered organization. We really place the customer at the center of everything that we do, and we try to humanize as much as possible. Whenever we talk about the company, we speak about our people, our company, and the people that we serve. So looking at the various means that we have at our disposal to communicate internally with our colleagues. From research that was conducted a couple of years ago, we learned that the staff of Aon, which can be extrapolated to a certain extent to Botswana staff as well, is quite fairly spread in terms of gender, female and male. It's quite a young staff staff as well. So majority of the people are below 35 years old. They are well educated. Most staff have tertiary education, and they in general have a positive sentiment towards this Aon to Minet changeover, and they expect great things to come. A key requirement expressed by staff is that they really appreciate transparency, so they appreciate regular updates. So the objectives for our internal communication is therefore to really create excitement and make staff proud, make them proud brand ambassadors, and talk about our company. We also want to ensure that staff really understands our brand and the fundamentals. We encourage everyone to please follow Minet, not just the group, but also the Minet Botswana social media channels. And we will provide regular communications through the local leadership, of course. And we also leave the door open for feedback. So whenever you feel uncomfortable about anything, or if you feel very happy about something, please do provide feedback, which is very much welcomed. Of course, not only through this presentation, but also through the staff workbook, which was shared earlier on with the invitation to this meeting. And if you missed it, doesn't matter, we will share it again. We want to ensure that everyone is very well aware as to how to communicate about the Minet brand. So first, a little bit of history on the Minet signature and on the brand mark. So back in 1949, the company initiated as J.H. Minet. And when we relaunched the brand about 3.5 years ago, we decided to retain the M monogram from the original Minet brand mark, to inject red color, which really reflects the heritage, the strong ties with Aon. And we decided to make the M into a swirl, which we refer to internally as the flex, which really demonstrates our flexibility. The full Minet brand signature is composed of the logo, the Minet logo. And at the right top, you can see Secure Tomorrow, which is the brand expression. The Aon endorsement logo, which demonstrates the strong ties that we have as being a global network correspondent. And the business description, which describes the business that we are in, namely risk, reinsurance, and people. The Pantone, or the primary color that we use, is red. And this is again chosen because of our history with Aon and our strong ties still with Aon. But even physiologically speaking, the red color has a very deep and intense effect and really inspires action. In terms of the fonts that we generally use for Minet, we have the choice of 3 different fonts, being Prelo, Slab, Book, which is primarily used for display. So on our outdoor communications, the billboards, you will see Prelo Slab. We also make use of Titanium 250, which is a font which is more used when we have a lot of text. So for instance, in our brochures and our leaflets and fact sheets, we use Titanium. And Corbel is really the main default font for all of our day-to-day correspondences. So this is the font that we generally use for our emails, for our PowerPoint presentations and letters. Now, when we first, so 3.5 years ago, when we first started rolling out the Minet brand, we were faced with the issue of making sure that we are consistent. We were launching initially in 6 different countries, and we wanted to make sure that the communication was consistent. The tools that we use for the brand are being used in a consistent way as well, to really maximize our brand exposure. And to ensure consistency, we then created what you can see on the right of this slide, the Minet Group Brand Portal, which is hosted on Teams. And this is really our one-stop shop for everything Minet branded. Your marketing team, being Bokamoso, as I understand, will be trained up to navigate this portal. And yeah, you will find everything related to the brand stored on this portal. So communicating internally with our staff, the most obvious way of communicating is of course email. And soon you will receive a communication on how to update your email signatures. And I believe there were a few questions about the email addresses as well, which are active as per today, June 1st. So your new email address is active. However, your Aon email address is still active as well, and you will get a clear communication as to how this will work and for how long both email addresses will be active. That email communication will be shared with you shortly. Another way of communicating internally with our staff is through Teams. So we don't really use Zoom, but we use Teams a lot for all of our internal communications with colleagues. On Teams, we share folders, we have meetings, and we also have a chat feature. So whichever colleague you would like to talk to can be found on Teams, and you can initiate a conversation or even a live a video conversation. We also use the Minet with Minet e-communication tool, which is in the shape of an email, and this goes out to all of the staff, even cross borders if needed, to announce social media highlights or the release of a new brochure or the initiation of a new contest or anything in that way. We use ambient media as well as a constant reminder for our staff of the brand that they work with and the values that we represent in our vision and mission. So for both the Gaborone office and the Francistown office, we printed several posters and pull-up banners, and they will be displayed around the working area as a constant reminder. And whenever we have internal meetings or workshops or events, we try to communicate as much as possible on the brand and be loud about it, as you can see on this slide. We also communicate internally with our staff through social media. So we know that in the region, Facebook is really the number one channel to use. It's the most popular channel. LinkedIn is also used, slightly less, but still is being used quite a bit for HR purposes whenever there are job openings or even for professional purposes as well, if we want to showcase any of our thought leadership articles. Twitter and Instagram are less popular, although both channels have been created for Minet Botswana as well, and they will be going live shortly. So we expect staff, whenever they are on social media, to please follow our social media channels, to please update your profiles to reflect that you are now employed with Minet, and to engage with clients or stakeholders, but please do not respond to them directly, as this is primarily the marketing responsibility. And whenever you post something, please do make Secure Tomorrow a trending hashtag, because we always use that in our posts. And then we have the printed and wearable collateral as well to make our employees proud of being part of the brand. You received a goodie bag which contained these items, and we hope that you will be wearing them at home and at work, and even for some social gatherings, so that you are an active and a proud brand ambassador. Now moving on to communicating with our clients. First looking at our client's profile and what their potential concerns may be with this Aon to Minet changeover. Well, the first concern that we saw when we did research was that people were a bit concerned about loss of the Aon brand equity and loss of the international connections. They were also a bit worried about, potential staff changeover, potential brain drain, and potential loss of service level continuity. And clients were also concerned about, the new ownership, which was completely new to them and they're not too familiar with. So all this really shows us that clients have to be reassured. We have to explain clients that we are still here to stay. The Aon products and services are still there. They are still valid in the marketplace as well, and we are still offering them. And we are building off of the great achievements that have been made so far, and we will take the company to a next level. Once the clients have been reassured, the research did show us that they do expect more innovation from Minet. They also expect more of an advisory consulting role. Instead of being a purely transactional broker, we would be more fulfilling the role of an advisory consultant. We also expect more added value and, of course, maintained, if not exceeded, service levels. So how we are communicating with our clients and how we can reassure them is, first of all, telling them about our Pan-African footprint. So in the last 3.5 years, we managed to add 8 different countries to our footprint, and today Botswana being the 9th country that we can add to our footprint. This all gives us a great Pan-African coverage that we can be proud of and that clients would be reassured by. We can also reassure clients by our strong links with Aon, because we are the largest Aon global network correspondent, and we still have access to their network of more than 50,000 colleagues in 120 countries, as well as all of their proprietary data, research and analytics, which we still have access to. The way that we communicate with our clients is, of course, through our day-to-day email messages, but we can also use the Minute with Minet communication tool in the shape of an email to communicate any policy updates or global trend news, or to announce the release of a new brochure. This, for instance, is a Minet Aon co-branded brochure that we worked on with Aon GBC, which covers the specialty areas of the GBC, which coincide largely with our strategic pillars. And every strategic pillar or every specialty area is backed up by real live business cases that demonstrate our joint capability from Aon and Minet. We also communicate with our clients through the Minet Risk magazine, which is a biannual magazine. So we release it twice a year, and the next release is up for next month in July. It contains a lot of thought leadership articles that are all written by Minet employees. And it really demonstrates our capabilities and boosts our credibility. So it's a great tool. It can be printed or it can be shared by a flipbook link. And again, it's a great tool to communicate with clients to reassure them. We also use digital media, and we specifically created this Blogspot account on which we post all of our thought leadership articles written by Minet employees. And people can visit the Blogspot account, or we can share the link to any of our other social media channels to share the thought leadership articles on social media. Of course, we communicate with our clients through social media as well. And we communicate with our clients through digital media, through our website. And our website is now based on WordPress, so it's very interactive. It's very easy to update, and it's almost instantaneously that we can make changes and updates to the website. And it contains a live chat feature. So for every country, we have at least one online agent, so one person who can come online during business hours to respond to any queries that specific country can get. If a query comes through outside of business hours, the agent will get an email with the query and get attend to the query once the agent comes back online. And this will be rolled out to Botswana as well. And we communicate, of course, with our clients through events. So in today's pandemic environment, it's a little bit more of a challenge to have large-scale events, as you can see on these images. But like this morning's session, we had a small-scale live event, which was then broadcasted through a much larger audience. So this is a way of, you know, a creative way for still communicating with a large event, which is very much the standard for today. And during these events, we of course want to be loud on our brand, and we want to demonstrate our knowledge and expertise, and we also want to reinforce our ties with clients. Moving on to the last way of communicating. This is communicating externally with our stakeholders. So looking at who we are dealing with for the external environment. Well, first of all, the Minet brand is of course new. I mean, if they're not yet clients and if they're not staff, Minet is not really in their minds just yet. So for them, it's just a new brand. We are playing in a highly competitive environment, and the risk and insurance industry is often very complex and quite confusing as well. And we are dealing with stakeholders that are very powerful these days because of social media. So to stand out of the crowd, we want to be bold, creative, engaging, and relevant in our communications. So when we look at the various means that we have to communicate externally with our stakeholders, we can classify all these channels through the PESO model. And the PESO model stands for paid, earned, shared, and owned media. So first of all, starting with earned media, this is kind of the most traditional media that we worked with, which is really, it used to be a simple pitch that we would send to the media, to journalists, hoping that they would include our brand name or our story in their featured article. Today, we are no longer only dealing with journalists, but we are also dealing with bloggers, vloggers, and social media influencers. So the audience is much bigger. And we use the media kit to communicate with the media. So on our website, we have an area which is dedicated to media. And from here, you can download the media kit specifically for the individual countries. So we did create a media kit for Botswana specifically as well. It can be downloaded. It has a quick overview of the Minet brand, and it also includes the biography of the leadership team. And through this media kit, we of course then hope that we will get positive exposure from the media through various articles. Google My Business is also a kind of a sort of earned media. So for the two offices in Gaborone and in Francistown, we created a Google My Business profile, and this will really help us to stand out of the crowd on Google Search and Google Maps. So once we go live with both the profiles and once we start using them, it will be very easy for clients to find us on Google Search, to know where we are physically located. They can read about the brand because we have a short description of the Minet brand on there as well. And they can leave a review as well if they like. Moving on to the next type of media, which is paid media. And this is really any type of media that we pay for, which is hosted or put on a platform which is not ours. So the most obvious one is outdoor, and you can see here on the slide that for Botswana specifically, we have 3 different visuals and 3 different messages that we communicate. And the billboards are placed in Gaborone, Francistown, Kasane, and Maun. And I hope that you will see them. They should have gone up this morning. Print is also a way of paid media, and we again have 3 different visuals with 3 different messages. And these will be published in the Sunday Standard, in the Business Weekly, in Gazette, Mamegi, and Daily News. We also lean on radio, which is another type of paid media, where we have the ad or an ad playing for 1 full month, which goes as follows.
Thanks.
Hi, Anne.
Yeah.
The clip is not audible.
Okay. I can send it after the presentation. It's just a 30-second clip, but I will share it after the presentation. Sorry. Moving on to shared media. So this is any type of sponsorship that we decide to conduct, or any exhibition or event for that matter. On this page, you can see where we hooked up with Riverview in Zambia on a wellness program. And we also did a number of events in Uganda and Lesotho, like a charitable golf tournament. Moving on to owned media, which is really the only organic channel that we completely own, and to a certain extent, yeah, we manage everything that is on there. So first of all, of course, the Minute with Minet, which is our e-communication tool, and also our corporate video is a way of owned media. Our fact sheets, in which we introduce our company and the specialty areas that we cover, is also a way of owned media. And of course, our Minet Group brochure. Social media is also a way of owned media that we use to communicate externally. And of course, our digital business card, which is our minet.com website. And at the top of the website, you can now select the country, and Botswana is featuring in there as well. So these are really the three types of channels that we encourage you to communicate on, and we encourage you also to always keep something which is very close to our hearts in mind, which is the Minet Foundation. And whenever you communicate with your colleagues or with your clients or with stakeholders externally, please do keep the Minet Foundation in mind. The Minet Foundation was brought to life to really guarantee our commitment to securing Africa's future. And although the focus can vary a little bit from country by country, overall, we have three focus areas, being education, because we believe that education really gives significant benefits to society, as it improves your social status, it improves your skills and knowledge, and it can open a lot of doors as well in terms of new connections. So through the Minet Foundation, we want to invest in education, in educational programs for young people. Another area of focus is healthcare, as we believe that every life has equal value. And through the Minet Foundation, we want to sponsor financially, but also create awareness for all of the diseases and disorders that the African continent is coping with. And the last pillar being building sustainable communities, which is in line with our mission, is that we want to give back to the community. We want to participate in sponsorships and charitable events to give back to the people that we serve. These 2 pages were taken from the Minet Risk magazine, which shows a few of the activities that the various countries have done in support of the Minet Foundation. So now the floor is really open to you, Team Minet Botswana, to plan for tomorrow. Just a quick reminder, so for the internal communication, we have to try and be regular, relevant and transparent in our communications. For clients, we want to try to reassure them as much as possible. And when communicating externally with stakeholders, we want to be bold, creative and engaging. We did come up with this quick table, which is just a very high-level summation of the types of events that we can do in order to reinforce these 3 lines of communication. And this will be shared, of course, with your local HR and marketing teams for further local fine-tuning. So if there are any questions, please do raise your hand, and otherwise, Kia Leboga, thank you, everyone. Tibes, over to you.
Thank you, Anime. Thank you, Anime. That was a good Kaleboha.
Thank you.
You can unshare your screen.
Yep.
Pat, Job. Can you see my screen? Do I have to
Yep, you can see it.
Thank you so much, everybody. How was the launch this morning? Did you guys excited? Did you like it? Hello, how was the launch this morning? Is everybody?
It was great.
You can unmute for 1 second. Unmute for 1 second. How was it this morning?
It was good.
It was great.
Awesomeness. I wanted to make sure that everybody's awesomeness. You guys look amazing in red. I was looking at that red. I was like, wow, it's a beautiful, it's different from the other red you used to have. This is a stronger red, this one. So for the last part of the program, I'm just going to walk you through what we call how to live the brand. Just really the principles of living the brand. Let me just make sure for someone. Yes, I'm online. So people always question, what is a brand? Because when people talk about brand, they think we talk about the logo. Are we talking about how big the logo is, how beautiful it is? Well, a brand is not really the logo. You can unmute. You can mute. Sorry, you can mute now. The brand is not the logo. The brand to be is, and to everybody you'll get to find in time that a brand is a promise you make and a promise you deliver. So when you say secure tomorrow, people trust that. People are hoping that's what you're going to help them do. Clients expect that of you. But it's also you also expect that of the company that's going to secure your tomorrow as well. So we obviously did a bit of research a while ago about our brand when building the brand, as Anneman said. And the most important thing you've learned is that your brand is your reputation. Your brand is what you trust, is what you can deliver on. And just to recap again what you've heard, that our vision is about securing Africa's future. You know, advertising say you must say the same thing 3 times. You heard it from Joe this morning, you heard it from Anima, you're going to hear it from me again. Just in recap, that it's about securing Africa's future, and your mission to be a trusted risk advisor, growing sustainable partnerships. What I love is that last part, making a meaningful contribution to the communities that you serve. To me, that is the essence of what it's about. Because if you're doing that, you'll be able to secure the future. Adaman has gone through the blueprint, the 4 C's, just internalize them. What is important is, how are you going to treat customers? That's your customer's service promise or your customer promise. The capabilities, what you are good at, what you can do well, what you have access to, your culture, which are the values which we're going to go into in a minute. And the credibility is what gives you the license to say what you say. What gives you the confidence to say what you say? Shabang, mute. So these 4 C's are very important as part of your brand. And at the center of it all, it's about being an agile, trusted advisor. So how does one build a values-based? Tabang, mute, please. How does one build a values-based organization? I love this quote by Jerry West. He says, the people. Tabang, mute. Tabang, mute.
Yes, I muted.
So, thank you. It's, Jerry West says the people, but the best people win. It's really about ensuring, and that's what building a values-based organization is. How are we going to become the best people to win here? Well, there's several ways you can look at just, you can look at people in an organization. You've got people who, at worst, they have no idea how to build a brand, no idea how to deliver on the promise. They have no interest in doing it, whether in the organization or outside. So those people are, to me, they're like strays. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're about here. So, and I know there's not any one of us here at Minet. There's none of us here. We know those kind of strays people. Then you've got bystanders. They know how to do the right thing. They know exactly how to do the right thing. But they're not motivated. They are not motivated at all to deliver on that. They just Jacobet, turn the thing off. So so the bystanders, they know what's the right thing to do, but they're not motivated. They are not motivated on delivering on this brand. Then you've got others. They are around, you know, they're happy, they're selling, they're saying things, but they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do it. The reason we're here today is because we want to turn you all into ambassadors, people who are actively and passionately selling the brand inside and outside, people who are strongly motivated and who know the right thing to do. So Annaman went to you this morning and gave you insights on how to build the brand. You saw the launch this morning and you are part of this organization. It's a new chapter in this organization, and I'm sure you are energized about how to do this. So we are perfectly placed to be the ambassadors of this new brand. And why is it so important to be, why do we have to tell people about this? Why do we have to explain this to you? Because we know that in an organization, this survey has shown that in an organization, less than half the people are really into the organization. Some of them people are just here to pick up a salary. They're just here, they arrive on time, you know them, you've seen them. I'm glad they didn't get to log on today, but you've seen them. You know, they come into the organization, they come in at 8:30, and at 4 o'clock, they start packing so that at 4:30, they'll be the first people out. They're just not part of who we are. So those are, sorry, not 41%, it's about 60%, 59% of the people. So, and what's interesting is I was looking at men and women. That's why I put the slide. I was like, well, the slide is quite interesting. So I want to see how different women are and how different men are. So, and pretty much we're the same. We're the same, okay, with the same. We are going to offload Jacobeth if she comes on again. We will take her off. So then we look at by industry. So we're probably in the professional services, we're probably in the finance, but you can see the engagement levels. People are just not into the companies. They're not into the organization. They're not into delivering on the brand and what it's about. So why is it so important to do this? If you have a positive company culture, it increases the employee retention and decreases turnover at the beginning. That culture makes people very, very productive. And productive people want to just grow. But what it also does is, because we go out there when you're part of this organization, when you're excited about the organization, you talk about the organization, it helps to increase the brand recognition, what people talk about, and people see you. So, I mean, what is beautiful today is seeing, I think Bokamosh was online, but Bokamosh is gonna send you some of the pictures from today. But you saw, I just thought, how beautiful is it? That red, the caps, how we all came across today. then of course it then leads to a great culture, which leads to open communication. Because if you're part of a great culture, you don't want to, you don't hide anything. You communicate, you talk, and everybody gets to hear and see what you feel like, how you feel about things. What it also does, which is important, it drives the bottom line. So you can see if you've got a great positive company culture, you're going to stay in the organization, and all the way it leads to the bottom line. Everybody wants the bottom line, because the bottom line means we can all stay in this organization and we don't have to leave. So what values do, they describe the core ethics, the ethics or the principles which all companies will abide by, no matter what. So the values are not like a tagline. You see, you can change taglines. You can change campaigns. You can change uniforms. But values are very important. Values are important because values are what binds us together as an organization, what brings us together. So when you think about the importance of values and culture, how it works, is when people see us anywhere, the first thing they see is how, when they engage with us, the experience when engaging with us, how they feel when they talk to us. Then they look at our products, what we're selling. Then they watch us. Then they're watching us, how they behave. Underneath that, what drives that behavior is the values, what binds us. But also what's important is what we're about. So our purpose and our values influence our behaviors, which enables us to sell what we sell, to offer what we offer, which enables our ability to give the type of experience that we can be proud of. So, in a nutshell, this is why values are important and culture. Our values influence our behavior influences our culture. Simply, our values is our behavior, is our culture. So that's why it's so important why we're having a session today about values, because values drive a culture. Because values, they help you to make decisions about work, about relationships, about transactions at work. So values, they guide everything we do at work, reflect our of culture in the organization. How people see our values is how they see us, how we do things. Our values, because our values are so deeply held and internal. So that influences how we do things. So now at this point, I'm going to stop at this point, because we've decided that in order to explain these values, which are simplified into an acronym HEART, because the values are at the heart of our business, the principles that guide our engagements and relationships with customers and our partners. So in order to deliver this, we have asked 10 of your colleagues to help us explain this. So they know them better than us. So we said, you know what, you explain this to us because you know this better than us, because we can sit here and do a presentation to you about what does honesty mean? What does expertise mean? What does agility mean? What does respect mean? What does teamwork mean? What matters is how you understand it and how you deliver it. So I've asked our colleagues, Oratile and Kagiso, to explain to us what honesty means. I've asked Dudu Likenelwe to explain to us what expertise means. I've asked Tsenolo and Temba to explain to us how does one show agility. And I've asked One and Sipone to explain to us how respect come across. And I've asked Kopano, Morato, I wrote by hand. My handwriting is the worst. To explain to us how teamwork works. So they're going to take us through these values one at a time. And then when we're done, we're going to come together as a team and we're going to pledge to delivering this great brand.
All right, no, thank you, Terry. So I have here with me the values of the value for Minet Botswana of honesty. And when we talk about honesty, what we're saying is we value being honest, transparent, and reliable in all our relationships, and we expect the same in return. The behavioral implication of this value honesty is that this value inspires us to conduct our business and relationships internally and externally with honesty, integrity, and transparency. The key performance indicator for this value of honesty is that one is able to, one first of all is aware and understands and complies with our code of ethics. So now, as Tab has shared, we are going to try to break it down into 3 parts, try and internalize it so that we can all understand it and relate to it as staff and be able to live it out as employees of Minet. So we'll share this in 3 parts. One, we'll share it from an individual point of view. I will start as a finance personnel, how this value of honesty comes into play. My colleague Kagiso Mthoga will speak to it as how it relates to us internally as Minet employees, and also how externally this value of honesty comes into play. So, as I said, I will go first myself. Individually, as a finance personnel, I'll give that as an example. Where we work in the Department of Finance, we deal with money, we deal with people's funds, we deal with financial reports, we deal with members' payments. So this value honesty really comes into play as we are expected to behave and conduct ourselves with integrity. People should be able to trust us with their funds. People should also be able to trust the kind of information that we give to them. This can be in a form of financial reports. This can be in a form of member statement, that this information is transparent. There is no misinformation or misrepresentation of the status of their funds. In a nutshell, what we present should be able to reflect a true and fair view of our funds, or of our the funds that we are working on. In a nutshell, from an individual perspective, that's what I want to share with you. Someone in admin, how this value of honesty can come into play to them is also in the reliability of the information they share with our clients as it pertains to the kind of products or services that we offer. So as I mentioned, my colleague Kagiso will speak to how we can live this value of honesty internally as colleagues within Minet. And also just to share that this value is really important, as Deb has also mentioned, that this value of honesty sets the type of work culture that we want to have. When we have honesty, we can have a work culture that enables us to be effective. So without further ado, Kagiso, please take it over and explain how we can live this value of honesty internally.
Okay, I'll try to be brief since we don't have much time. How it can be lived at work, it encourages a sense of trust amongst the employees and community. It comes alive as it reduces conflict in a workplace, and it gives an employee to an outlet to voice their discontent and prevent negative attitudes, outbursts, and personal conflicts. It also gives a client a peace of mind, knowing that the information that we have it's genuine. For instance, in my line of work as an admin, I do a lot of I relay a lot of information to clients. Therefore, I need to be very trustworthy and always show reveal transparency in every information that I reveal to the client. So with that being said, I'll give it back to Radilete to maybe add a little bit more here and there.
Yes, thank you, Gabby. So I think in a nutshell, that's what the value of honesty, how we can live it out in Minet. The last part we had mentioned there is how this value of honesty we can show it out also externally. We did mention that we also want to have this value internally and with our external either clients or partners. So honesty, as how people might view us, as Deb has said, it promotes good reputational goodwill, and also it inspires loyalty amongst our clients as they trust the type of service, the type of information that we give them. So this can retain us good clients because we inspire loyalty among them, they're happy and they trust our service, we are reliable in how we serve them, and we're transparent in the way in which we handle our business. So without further ado, Tabby, I think we have covered it all. So I'll hand it back over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have been asked to explain what means to us to the value of Minet. We are going to explain what means to us when we say expertise. My understanding of the term expertise is knowing and being good at your job. As a Minet employee, we really on our profession, on our professional and experience and expertise to continue to provide unmatched, excellent customer service, owning the place with a brilliant thinking, not sharing company information, and integrity and cooperation.
Hi guys. As Kilene has already mentioned, we are going to be explaining what expertise means to us, myself, and how we can bring it to life to our employees, to the employees and our clients. With our insurance expertise, we hope to continue spreading the brand awareness to our clients and assuring them that we are still the same professionals that have their best interest at heart, no pun intended. With this value, we assure and confidently promise our clients to go far and beyond in offering our services, ensuring them that we can think outside the box, more especially during these trying times of the new unusual normal. What I can say to my colleagues is we can brush up on our skills and continue training to ensure that we are always a step ahead in the market, which will make us the best experts there is.
Good afternoon, everyone. And once again, I think on behalf of the regional team, would like to say thank you for what you continue to do, and obviously incredibly excited with this change. And I think from a regional point of view, we know change is never an easy process. We acknowledge that you may have additional questions and concerns, as you lose what has become part of your identity. And as stated by Joe, Bame, Barnabas, and Chris this morning, and obviously amplified by Mr. Gade, by Anemain and Tebe. This change gives you an opportunity to retain, or gives us, all of us, an opportunity to retain the best of what Aon offers and build what is new and great about Minet, especially in Botswana. So really from my side is to share, what is the commitment from the regional team? And I mean, Joe has asked me to extend this because earlier this morning, obviously we had clients, and this is specifically for you. The key people that, are the reason why shareholders are buying this business. From a commitment perspective, we will work towards being an employer of choice. And I can commit to say that in doing so, we'll seek your input as we progress with this change. We will implement regional mobility and exchange programs as Minet is looking to expand to other exciting territories. I think over the next coming months, we'll obviously share more details, but you would have picked up that Joe in his speech did mention that, one of the regions that Minet would be looking at is West Africa. We'll continue to invest in your careers, overall talent development. And as Bame has said, this work has already started with, working with your, leadership team. We will pay competitive remuneration and rewards aligned with actual performance, and expect clarity in the coming months in terms of how this will work, not longer than 3 months. That's the commitment to just communicate what that means. What we are asking you, and I think Anemain and Tebe has amplified that, is to be Minet brand ambassadors. And I think this morning you absolutely displayed that. And I have no doubt that you'll continue to do so and really serve our clients with excellence. And, you know, for all Aon Botswana leaders, managers, and supervisors, we expect you to display strong leadership and leave our heart values in line with our mission and values. What do we commit to over and above this is to be accountable to you as our staff, as our colleagues, because, you know, you are the business. We don't own any significant machinery like a manufacturing plant. You know, this business either succeeds or fails because of people, and we will treat and see you as clients. I think from my side, that's all we wanted to say from a regional leadership perspective. Good luck with the rest of the session. I just need to go, but I thank you, and I look forward to engaging with you guys in the coming weeks. Thank you, Tebe.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But we have Barnabas online, so Barnabas will still stay with us. So and you just fill up.
Ciao.
Thank you, Leo. So we will then ask next Sonolo and Temba to come on and to present A for agility.
Okay. A stands for agility. So me and Temba will be talking about agility as a value to Minet and to ourselves as employees of Minet. Firstly, why embrace the agile philosophy and value as a core? Well, the future is unpredictable, and with the world and its technology ever changing, it creates greater uncertainty to our requirements and needs. An organization that embraces agility is able to adapt faster and still remain customer focused. Minet prides itself in practicing business agility as it strives to quickly adapt to market changes, respond rapidly and flexibly to customer demands, adapt and lead change in a productive and cost-effective way without compromising quality. Invest in the right technology that allows people to work flexibly or remotely. Technology also helps streamline our workflow processes, thereby reducing time required to complete tasks. As we know, the current COVID-19 crisis that we are experiencing since 2019, this shows as an indication of how Minet has adapted to change in terms of introducing new working strategies like work from home, new work shift schedules, reducing and holding meetings and trainings online. As an employee of Minet and as colleagues, Minet's agility to us means that we should be collaborative, that sharing knowledge with colleagues, give clients advice, provide relevant and accurate underwriting information to the industry. We should be team players, anticipate customer needs, that provide solutions according to clients' needs, and try to be proactively and try to proactively predict the client's business's needs. We should be able to collect customer feedback. This is a tool to improve our service delivery to the client, dealing with both positive and negative feedback professionally and not being intimidated by those feedbacks. We should be able to open to learning from both clients and as well as from our competitors. We should meet with customers in person, online, depending on what is convenient and cost effective for both the customer and Minet. So as we all know, nowadays, the new norm is we work online.
Now I'll be handing over to my colleague Tamba to talk about how agility is to be lived at work, how we understand agility, and the demonstration of how agility is to be lived every day. Tamba.
Thank you very much, Senolo. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
If you can hear yourself, we can hear you.
Yes, I will continue with how agility is to be lived at work. That is being able to keep up with the changes in the organization. Changes come in the form of new legislation, changes in management within Minet, changes in shareholding, changes in the market landscape, such as new players at both supplier and competition level. Emergency of pandemics such as COVID-19, which require thinking outside the box and being able to remain customer-centric. Pandemic business interruption losses, providing future solution for such losses to find markets prepared to work on such project. Continuously looking for opportunities even where it seems that we are at this disadvantage. If we lose an account, I would take that as an opportunity to learn where we went wrong and not repeat that with the next client. By being competitive and adding value to the client business by interrogating their businesses and supplying them with tailor-made solution to their needs as opposed to the wholesale solution to their business challenges. Understanding agility. That is by remaining observant to changes that are happening around you, either in the organization or in the market. Have the mindsets that allow us as an organization or employee to view change positively and behave in ways that are effective to change. Demonstration of how it is to be lived at work every day. That is by coming up with innovative ideas, by checking in on clients daily to see how they are and how their companies are doing. Changing environment, solution focused. And lastly, anticipating changes that might happen by preparing for them in advance. Thank you very much.
My name is Sipone. I'm here with One. We are here to represent Respect Value. We say charity begins at home. At Minet, we respect one another, being our colleagues, our business partners, our mutual clients, and community. We practice what we preach. We live our values. Please, One, can you take it over?
Teamwork. Anytime is tea time. Anyway, teamwork, colleagues. You know, saving money by not using roll-on is not a good idea of teamwork. No, I'm kidding. Jokes aside, you know, the reverence with which you treat your colleagues, both junior and senior, encompasses what we're talking about here. Teamwork is about being able to learn the business at Minet, learn what your colleagues do in order for you to support them both vertically and horizontally. So being able to upsell, being able to cross-sell, and being able to listen to one another and work harmoniously at Minet. And this is the value that I think most encapsulates what we do here at the company. So this is the one that needs to be adhered to, in my opinion, the most. So my colleague Morati will tell you the other aspects of teamwork.
Like Michael Jordan once said, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championship. Minet, the real champions.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those are our values. Honesty, as has been explained, expertise, agility, respect, teamwork. You are going to begin to see this, but most importantly, we hope that you'll be able to live this every day. Let us give a round of applause to our good friends, Oratile, Lekagiso, Dudu, Kenele, Tsenolo, Temba, One, Sipone, Kopano, Morati, Please let us give him a round of applause for an excellent job, the effort to do this. So let us go. So everybody remembers the pledge, right? You all got the pledge? You can all turn on your microphones now. Everybody can turn on the microphones. Everybody should turn on their videos. So let us just say, we are the heart and soul of Minet. Let's just go with that one, right? I do it on the count of 3. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
We are the heart and soul of Minet.
I'm feeling people who are still not taking notes. Just put our hands up on our chest. Passion. We are the heart and soul of Minet. We are Minet. Let's go for it.
We are the heart and soul of Minet. We are Minet.
Everybody. Hey guys, that brings us to the end of today. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to ask Rema Vuma to just Rema Vuma.
Yes, Tebe, you are going to ask me to?
I'm going to ask you to close on behalf of Leo.
Thank you all for the participation this morning. And obviously, this afternoon's event, I'm sure we'll have an exciting time with Minet. I've heard quite a few wonderful things around how they will allow us to work and around how they will be trying to reward us at the end of the year for good work done. So I think all of you should remain with that hope that things are going to be a lot better in this new home of ours. Thank you and have a great afternoon.